have learned about the chapter that was elasticity, okay, and yesterday we have also solved some of the numericals. After that there is a chapter that is the liquid pressure, which is excluded from your syllabus. It is not in your syllabus. So today we are going to discuss about the flow of liquid, okay. So what do you mean by the flow of liquid? Flow of liquid, okay. So please listen carefully before going to state about the flow of liquid, type of liquid, and what do you mean by the flow of liquid. I am going to give you glance what do you mean by the upthrust, okay. Okay, what do you mean by the upthrust? So as we are doing that, we are going to discuss about the mechanical properties of fluid. As we are doing that, fluid may be considered liquid and as well as the gases, both are considered as a fluid. Liquid as well as the gases are considered as a fluid, and whenever there is any change occurs in their volume, either for a liquid, for the context of gases. So if there is any change in volume takes place in any fluid, that is termed to the compressibility, okay. And as we are knowing that in this chapter we have to discuss that the flow of liquid, ideal liquids are always incompressible, okay. It means that the change in volume is approximately negligible. It means that if whenever we are applying some amount of stress to the particular amount of volume of a liquid, then there is no change takes place, or if there is any change takes place, that amount of the change in volume is approximately negligible. So we can say that any ideal fluid is incompressible in nature, okay. So what do you mean by the pressure? In the last lectures we have learned that pressure is nothing but that is a force acting per unit of area. And what do you mean by upthrust? What do you mean by upthrust? Okay. So in lower classes you have learned upthrust in the context of the Archimedes principle. What is the statement of the Archimedes principle? Anyone having any idea about the Archimedes principle? Anyone having any idea about the Archimedes principle? Alankriti.
Sir, the volume of water displaced by the is equal to that volume of solid
Yes.
liquid water.
According to the Archimedes principle, sit down. Whatever be the amount of, listen carefully please. If a body is immersed to a liquid, so the amount of liquid displaced is exactly equal to the, that is the weight of the body. Whatever be the weight of the body will be exactly equal to the amount of the volume displaced by that particular body. And it is known as the Archimedes principle, and which we can also, with the help of an experiment that is known as a spring balance experiment. With the help of an spring, if we start some mass, a body of mass and when there is no mass is hanged with the spring, then there is no elongation takes place in the string. If a mass is attached, if a body of mass and is attached to the spring, there will be a elongation takes place. If this object is immersed in a vessel which is filled with the liquid, so some amount of the liquid will be displaced, and we can say that there is rise in the level of the liquid takes place. Why? Because some amount of the volume is displaced with the immersion of this object, okay. So whatever be the amount of the rise in the temperature takes place will be exactly equal to the mass of the or the weight of the body, okay. That is in the Archimedes principle. So an opposing or the upward force acting by the lower surface of the liquid to the body can be considered as upthrust. We can say if the weight of the object is acting in the downward direction, okay, then the upthrust will be acting in the upward direction. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So right now, and according to the Pascal's law, what do you mean by the Pascal's law? If it is excluded from your syllabus, but still I am going to give you the glance. What do you mean by the Pascal's law? Okay, Pascal's law states that, okay, let us suppose that it is a vessel. Let us suppose that if we are having a vessel into which some liquid or any fluid is filled. Okay. So whatever be the force exerted onto the particular area. Okay. So the force acting per unit area is known as pressure. Okay. Whatever be the pressure is exerted to the fluid is exactly distributed among all the points. Means if we are taking here this point A, if we are taking here point this A, B, this C, so whatever be the pressure is exerted to the fluid will be exactly distributed among the vessel of the walls of the vessel and similarly to the each and every point of the liquid. Okay, so this is the Pascal's law of the pressure. To describe the pressure, as we are knowing that कभी भी आप जाते होंगे, whenever you are just going for a servicing of your bike, you can see there that there is a using of the hydraulic pressure and application of the Pascal's law.
Yes.
With the help of the liquid pressure, we are just going for the washing of the cars by simply applying some small amount of the force, and when the area will be larger, then the pressure will be exactly or completely distributed over the whole area of the surface. If the area will be larger and each and every point will feel exact amount of the pressure, means same amount of the pressure. Let us suppose that if this is a large area, okay, and whatever be the pressure is exerted from here, so each and every point will have the same pressure. So with the help of this pressure, okay, we can move an object in the upward direction, and this is an application of the Pascal's law. Okay. In the similar manner, you can also see that this application is allowed in the buses. In the buses, you can also see that hydraulic brakes are there. देखा भी होगा, कभी-कभी आपने देखा होगा. In your daily life, you can also observe that. आप क्या देख सकते हैं कि whenever a huge trolley with the sand is coming nearby in your locality, so you can found that अब इतना बड़ा होगा, बहुत सारा मैन पावर चाहिए होगा. ट्रक में अगर बालू रखा हुआ है, उसे में बाहर पावर करना है, निकालना है, तो बहुत ज्यादा मैन पावर चाहिए, 4-5 लोग चाहिए, निकालने का टाइम भी लगेगा. तो आपने देखा होगा कि पीछे से एक कंप्रेशर बटन दबाता है और दस हाइड्रोलिक प्रेशर के बेसिस पे एक पाइप लंबा सा उठता है और पूरा का पूरा जितना भी सैंड होता है वो नीचे की ओर गिर जाता है. व्हाई? दिस इज द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द हाइड्रोलिक प्रेशर, एंड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग इज ओनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द Pascal's. Okay, so this was a glance for the last chapter which was excluded from your syllabus. Now we are going to discuss about the flow of liquid, how the liquid flows, and what will be the nature of a liquid when it acquires a flow. So the first thing is that is a streamline flow. The flow of liquid is subcategorized into the few parts like the streamline flow, turbulent flow, and unstable flow. Okay. So how we can discuss on the basis of the Reynolds number? So first we are going to discuss the flow of liquid. So there are the nature of the liquid flow, that is a streamline flow, unstable flow, and the last one is turbulent flow. So first, I am not going to give you the definition. First, we will see these topics with the help of an example. Okay. First, I will discuss the example. Then only on the behalf of that example, we will discuss about the definition of the streamline flow, unstable flow, and turbulent flow. Then we will discuss about the Reynolds number. Okay. So let us suppose that whenever we are in our daily life, let us suppose that this is a tap. Okay. So this is a tap from which a liquid is flowing. Okay. So at rest, when there is no forces applied to the tap, there is no water is coming. Okay. Am I right? Whenever, if there is no forces applied to the tap, then no water will be coming out from here. Okay. As we open the tap, so what is happening? Sometimes we observe that the liquid is flowing in a straight line. In a straight line, what does it mean? It means that each and every particle of this fluid is following the same path. Means, if this particle, this is a point A, this is point B, this is point C, D and E. It means that each and every particle is flowing from the same point in a same path. If the path of a liquid, listen carefully, if a path of the liquid or the molecules is similar to its preceding particles, if the path of a particle is similar to the preceding particles in a straight line, then such type of the flow of liquid is said to be the streamline flow. Okay? This flow is said to be the streamline flow, and the phenomena is said to be the streamline. Is it clear? The path is said to be this path is said to be the streamline path, and path is said to be the streamline flow. Okay? It means that each and every particle follows the path of preceding particles. Okay? Whereas, लिखिएगा बाद में, पहले सुन लीजिए, हम लिखवा देंगे, ठीक है? Whereas if sometimes आपने देखा होगा कि whenever we are opening the tap, sometimes the liquid are moving like this, फैल के गिरता है, हाँ? It means that each and every particle is independent of the path. Means there is no path is fixed. It means that no of the particles following its preceding particles path. It means that a type of flow in which the path is not fixed. A flow in which the path of the particles are not fixed. It means that whenever they are willing to move, wherever they are willing to move, they can move. ऐसा होता है ना, कभी-कभी आप घरों में जब टैप खोलते हैं तो at that time आपको लिक्विड का फ्लो इस तरह मिलता है. And such type of the flow is said to be the turbulent flow. ठीक? Whereas sometimes you have observed that कभी-कभी ऐसा भी नजर आता है हमें कि कुछ पानी सीधा-सीधा गिरता है in a straight line, and some of the molecules are moving randomly like this. It means that it is a type of flow which follows both the streamline as well as the turbulent. It means that here no fixation of the path. ना ही वो streamline में है, ना ही वो क्या है, turbulent में है, and such type of the flow is said to be the unstable flow. Okay? It means that आप चाहे तो ऐसे भी समझ सकते हैं. Next example is that is suppose that this is the particles of a fluid, and if each and every particle of the fluid is moving in a straight line, let us suppose that this is the A particle A, B, C, D and E. If each and every particle is moving in a straight line, as time t was 0, initially it is moving in a straight line. As the time t passes, if A reaches to B, A reaches to B, B reaches to C, C reaches to D, and D reaches to E or F, whatever. Okay? So you can see there, as the time changes, the position of the particle changes, but follows the preceding position. Am I right? In a straight line, then such type of the flow of liquid is said to be the streamline flow, where the path is fixed. That is and such type of the flow is also known as laminar flow. What do you mean by laminar? A thin sheet which is having the length and very small thickness. Okay, is said to be the laminar. So streamline flow is said to be a type of flow in which the liquid particles follows the path of the preceding particles in a straight line, and such type of the flow of liquid is said to be the streamline flow or laminar flow. Whereas a type of flow of liquid in which there is no fixation of path of the liquid, no fixation of the path of the liquid takes place. It means that with respect to time, they can move here and there. The such type of the flow is said to be the unstable. ठीक है? जैसे मान लो कि अब हमें डिस्कस करना है turbulent flow. It is again suppose that A, B, C, D and E. At time t, as we are knowing that each and every particle is moving in a straight line, it is a streamline flow. Okay? But if we are taking the time t, after time t, A is not reaching to B, A is reaching to C, B is reaching to E, and D is reaching to further. It means that no fixed path is specified for a flow of liquid. Then such type of the flow of liquid is said to be the turbulent flow of the liquid. Okay? Whereas Unstable, already I have given you the idea. Okay, what do you mean by the tube of flow or streamlined tube flow? What do you mean by the streamlined tube of flow? If it is asked for your examination that describe a streamlined flow of tube, then what you will reply? Anyone having any idea about this? It means that if we are considering a tube, in which whatever be the molecules are moving, with respect to time, they are acquiring a straight line path with respect to time, and each and every particle follows the path of the preceding particles, then such type of the tube flow is said to be the tube of, that is a streamlined tube of flow. आप देखते भी होंगे जब कभी भी टूथपेस्ट से आप पेस्ट को बाहर इजेक्ट करते हो तो एक साथ ही एक सेम शेप में, ऐसे एक सेम शेप में ही आपको बाहर निकल के क्या मिलता है, टूथपेस्ट इजेक्ट होता है। तो सबके सब एक ही साथ होते हैं। आपने पहले भी देखा होगा कि जब कभी कोलगेट का हम कलर्ड टूथपेस्ट लेते थे तो उसमें ऐसे जब टूथपेस्ट बाहर आता था तो इधर व्हाइट होता था, बीच में रेड होता था, फिर व्हाइट होता था। आपने देखा होगा ऐसा भी टूथपेस्ट आता था। अभी तो रेड कलर का भी आता है, व्हाइट कलर का भी आता है, ठीक है, क्लोजअप का आता था। तो अभी क्या है, वो भी क्या है, ड्यू टू द एरिया ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन, जो वॉल है, इनर वॉल में ऐसे एरिया क्रॉस सेक्शन बना होता था कि जब हम पीछे से हम क्या करते थे, प्रेशर एक्सर्ट करते थे ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर एरिया, whenever a force is applied to a particular area and that is termed as the pressure, तो वो क्या होता था, due to the Pascal's law it is equally distributed among the walls of the vessel, और वो वेसल क्या होता था, हमारा टूथपेस्ट का ट्यूब होता था, और सेम अमाउंट में जो कि बाहर फ्लूइड आता है, ऐसे ही आ जाता था। तो हम कहते थे कि दैट इज, और हमको दिखाई देता था व्हाइट कलर, रेड कलर, व्हाइट कलर, रेड कलर। तो such type of the flow of tube is said to be the streamlined flow of tube. Is it clear to everyone? आप देखते भी होंगे घर में जब कभी भी हम मोटर चला देते हैं, टंकी से पानी, जो मोटर के पाइप से पानी गिरता है तो कहते हैं एक धार सा पानी गिर रहा है, ठीक है। तो सभी के सभी पार्टिकल्स क्या करते हैं, एक सेम पाथ को एक्वायर करते हैं इन स्ट्रेट लाइन, एंड दैट टाइप ऑफ द और दैट नेचर ऑफ द फ्लो ऑफ ट्यूब इज सेड टू बी द स्ट्रीमलाइन फ्लो ऑफ ट्यूब, ठीक है, क्योंकि उस ट्यूब से जो भी पार्टिकल्स निकल रहे हैं सबके सब क्या है, स्ट्रीमलाइन में है। तो उस ट्यूब का फ्लो कैसा है, स्ट्रीमलाइन है। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? So write down one thing. Flow of tube is subcategorized. Flow of tube is subcategorized. Flow of tube is subcategorized into the three parts: streamlined flow, turbulent flow, and unstable flow. Write down one line definition for streamlined flow. A type of flow of fluid in which the particles moves in a straight line. The particles move in the straight line, and also follows the path of its preceding particles, then such type of flow is said to be streamlined flow. And path is called streamline. Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now write down turbulent flow. A flow of liquid in which in which the path of the molecules of a fluid repeat. What I have said, a flow of liquid in which the path of the molecules of fluid is not fixed with respect to time, that is not following the path of its preceding particles, called turbulent flow. Okay, is it clear? Now there is an expression on the behalf of that. सुनो ध्यान से, इसे भी नहीं लिखना है, जो बोले सुनिए ध्यान से. Later I will give you an explanation, or that is the expression to find out the type of flow. अगर हमें कोई एक पर्टिकुलर और न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू मिल जाए, हमने क्या किया कि कोई एक एक्सप्रेशन निकाला और उस एक्सप्रेशन के बेसिस पे on the behalf of that expression, if we can distinguish what type of the flow is that. So later I will give you that expression how we can distinguish what type of the flow is that. अभी हम आपको बताएंगे कि ये वैल्यू कितनी आ जाए, कोई एक वैल्यू कितनी आ जाएगी तो हम बता देंगे कि such type of the flow is said to be the streamline, unstable, or that is a turbulent flow. Okay. So before going to state about the Reynolds number, first we have to learn critical velocity. What do you mean by the critical velocity? What do you mean by the critical velocity of a fluid of liquid? Critical velocity of a flow of liquid anyone having any idea about this topic? What do you mean by the critical velocity of a fluid? As we are knowing that if the molecules of a fluid, please listen carefully because this topic is so important. Okay. As we are knowing that a type of flow of liquid in which the particles following the path of its preceding particles is said to be the streamline flow. Okay. If the particle does not follow the same path with respect to time, is said to be the turbulent flow. It means that the velocity of the flow of liquid with which the particles follows the streamline, the maximum velocity of the flow of liquid with which the molecules follows the streamline flow, and beyond of that velocity the particles no more in streamline. वो मैक्सिमम वेलोसिटी किसी भी मॉलिक्यूल की जिससे कि वो मॉलिक्यूल क्या कर रहा हो, स्ट्रीमलाइन में मोशन कर रहा हो, और सडन से उस वेलोसिटी की पर्टिकुलर वेलोसिटी के बियॉन्ड अगर वो चला जाता है तो वो स्ट्रीमलाइन में नहीं, ठीक है, उसका पाथ फिक्स नहीं होगा. इट मींस दैट इट वेलोसिटी चेंजेस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम. ओके. सो द मैक्सिमम लिखिए, राइट डाउन. क्रिटिकल वेलोसिटी ऑफ अ फ्लूइड इज डिफाइंड एज critical velocity of a fluid is defined as the maximum velocity of a particle, the maximum velocity of a particle with which it follows streamline flow, and beyond of that no more in streamline does it okay is called critical velocity of the fluid. Critical velocity of that fluid. Okay, it means that a particular velocity, okay, let us suppose that velocity is vc. Critical velocity is given by vc. Here suffix c shows that the critical for critical and v for velocity. If critical velocity is what I have said here, maximum velocity of a particle, within that the particle follows the streamline flow is said to be the, and beyond which if the velocity is less than that particular velocity, it is a straight line. ठीक है, स्ट्रीमलाइन में होगा और अगर वेलोसिटी से ज्यादा हो जाए, लेट सपोज दैट कि हमारे पास हमने दे दिया किसी भी लिक्विड से, अगर किसी भी ट्यूब से जो फ्लो होना है वो 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड की वेलोसिटी से फ्लो होना है, तो अगर इफ ईच एंड एवरी पार्टिकल फॉलोज दिस वेलोसिटी, so they will acquire the path straight line or streamline. If some of the particle reaches more than this velocity, becomes 21 meter per second, 31 meter per second, 28 meter per second, okay, then it will be not streamline, then such type of the motion will be turbulent motion. Am I right? Okay, so the particular velocity or the maximum velocity of a flow, within that the particles follow the streamline flow, and beyond of that if the flow follows not the streamline, then such type of the velocity is said to be the critical velocity. ठीक है, जैसे आपने फ्रिक्शन में भी पढ़ा था, याद करिएगा फ्रिक्शन में, तो फ्रिक्शन में भी आपने पढ़ा था there are the two type of friction, static friction and kinetic friction, and in between the static and kinetic, that is the limiting friction. The maximum value of the static friction is said to be the limiting friction. Why? Because in that state the body just start to move or slide over the surface of any other particle. यही था ना? तो यही वो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू है जिससे अगर नीचे रहता है तो स्ट्रीमलाइन होगा और उससे अगर ज्यादा हो जाता है तो क्या हो जाएगा? टर्बुलेंट. Is it clear to everyone? So now if a numerical is given, अगर आपको न्यूमेरिकल दे दिया जाए और कहा जाए कि बताइए कि जो लिक्विड इजेक्ट हो रहा है किसी भी ट्यूब से उसका नेचर क्या होगा? What I have said that if a numerical is given to you and in which it is asking that what kind of the flow we will obtain at last. ठीक है, तो अब हम कैसे निकालेंगे? So Reynolds have given an explanation that on the basis of Reynolds number, we can give the nature of type of flow. Okay? अभी क्लियर है? किसी को इसका एक्सप्रेशन पता है? Anyone having any idea about the expression for the Reynolds number? किसी को? अर्शिया नहीं पता है. बुक तो है ना आपके पास? So why you have not referred? उसरात, मानवी, स्तुति, क्या जिनके मैं नाम बोलूँगा एब्सेंट है क्या क्लास में? अलमस, she is not in, नहीं पढ़ती है. Anyone having any idea about the? तो बगल में बैठी बता. As I have said that Vc is the critical velocity. Please listen carefully. अच्छा, लंबे होने का भी फायदा है ना, आराम से अपनी सीट पे बैठे, थोड़ा सा ऊपर रिजोल्यूशन थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है। स्वातिका पीछे से बैठ के देख रही है, दिखाई दे रहा है। जैसे कुछ लोग तो कहते हैं सर इसलिए हम आगे बैठते हैं क्योंकि थोड़ा सा VC is equals to, if it is given that, I am not indicating to anyone, okay? VC means it is the critical velocity. ठीक है, जरूरी थोड़ी ना कि सब एक साइज के ही होते हैं। अगर सब एक बराबर के होते तो लाइन में आगे कौन खड़ा होता? देखिए, VC is termed as the critical velocity of a flow of liquid, and it is equals to, in your book it is given by K, Reynolds number is given as K. आप चाहे तो इसे R से भी लिख सकते हैं याद रखने के लिए, R for Reynolds number, okay? VC is equals to R या फिर K, फिर उसके बाद coefficient of viscosity eta upon rho into D, okay? Is it? So here VC is the critical velocity. Listen carefully. अभी मैं जो समझाऊंगा ध्यान से समझिएगा. It is the critical velocity. R is the Reynolds number. It is a numeric value, so it will not have any of the unit. Okay. Eta is the coefficient of viscosity. Eta is density, and T is the diameter of the given pipe or tube. Okay. From which the liquid is flowing. Okay. So if this R, if the value of R is less than 2000, okay, if the value of R, if the numeric value is less than 2000, then such type of the flow is said to be the streamline flow. Streamline flow. Okay. If this value R is greater than 3000, okay, then it will be considered as turbulent flow. And if someone says that sir मेरी वैल्यू जो है इन दोनों में नहीं आ रही है, if the value of R is lies in between 1000 to 3000, then such type of the flow is said to be the unstable. Okay, ठीक है, तो आपको ये बताया जाएगा। अब ध्यान से सुन लीजिए, क्वेश्चन कैसे आ सकता है। क्वेश्चन आएगा, if the coefficient of viscosity for a fluid is given, okay, critical velocity is given, density is given, and diameter of the pipe is also given or radius is given. In that condition, you will take the, that is the 2R is the diameter. Okay. So आप क्या कर सकते हैं, put the value, R निकालना होगा तो क्या करेंगे, R is equals to क्या हो जाएगा, that VC into D, critical velocity multiplied with the diameter of the tube, and R into, sorry, this is only ठीक है. So you will put the value and get the result. I am going to give you a question, सभी solve करेंगे, ठीक है.